213th Aviation Regiment and 1st Aviation Brigade would like to welcome you to the 213th Aviation Regiment Purple Heart Award Ceremony honoring Sergeant First Class Daine Kvasager. The Purple Heart is awarded to Sergeant First Class Daine Kvasager while assigned to the 82nd Combat Aviation Brigade for wounds received in action while forward deployed to Al-Asad Air Base, Iraq.
His fiancee, Staff Sergeant McMillan, who will also be having a ceremony tomorrow because she is also awarded the Purple Heart and was serving with our honoree today. Sergeant Kvasager, actions speak louder than words. My parents have been telling me that since I was their size, and your actions overshadow anybody else's words and what you did that day.
On January 8th, 2020, the government of Iran fired 13 ballistic missiles at Al-Asad, Iraq, and they impacted over the course of 2 to 3 hours, and I was flying an aircraft from the ground, an unmanned aircraft, and had just sustained concussion injuries from the blast waves.
So at flight school graduations back at Fort Rucker, when it's in the museum with a whole bunch of different stuff, I talk about heroes that are among us. And this is one more example of those that have displayed that courage, that action when they were tested and they had a decision, and that you are among us and teaching and supporting and involved in everyday operations and continue to make a difference.
I was actually at the controls of an aircraft flying over Al-Asad Air Base when the first impacts came down. I was worried about who'd been killed, actually. As it wasn't a question of if to me, it was a question of how many. So to my amazement, there was zero fatalities. We do a really good job of training to fight, and at that time, I knew I had a job to do. That was it. So I took my moments to think, oh no, and then after that, it was all training kicked in.
I wish he had never had to go through what he had to go through to get it, but he did, and we're so proud of him.
Yeah. Yes.
And the ceremony was wonderful.
Beautiful ceremony.
Thank you, everybody.
Beautiful day. Yes. And we're very, very proud of it.
On behalf of the 305th in my battalion, I'd like to welcome you to the Purple Heart Medal Ceremony in honor of Staff Sergeant Rebecca A. McMillan. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America has awarded the Purple Heart to Staff Sergeant Rebecca A. McMillan, Company D, 82nd Airborne Division Aviation Regiment, for wounds received in action on January 8, 2020 in Iraq, given under my hand in the city of Washington, the first day of December 2021. Signed, Secretary of the Army, Kristen Wormuth.
My best friend in the Army, Lieutenant Colonel Scott McKay, was the battalion commander that was deployed there with you guys as part of the Ready Brigade from the 82nd with the White Devils. And when I talked to him about that day and what happened, he and his staff were hiding under a table in a conference room. They had nowhere else to go. And he talks about just being shook to the core as the impact of the rockets was taking place. And the thought going through his mind, he's thinking about his two little boys and his wife. It has to just be an incredible feeling. For you, for Daine, to have been there together, and to have your family back home, and to have those thoughts going through your head as all this is going on around you, and to just be shook like that, it's pretty amazing, right? That you're standing with us here today, and that your family is here.
We were in a bunker that was thin concrete with some sandbags on top, and the end caps were open. So the blast, we felt everything when it came in because we weren't really protected. The ends of this tiny bunker were open that we were in. So I wouldn't even call it a bunker, I'd call it more of a shelter. On days where we have, you know, a brain injury, it messes with your emotions, it messes with your brain and kind of how you process things. And so when I'm having, I would say the best way to put it is one of those days, he is good at understanding that I'm just going through something, that I'm not lashing out at him because I'm mad at him. It's just I don't know how to control my emotions correctly anymore.
I couldn't, you know, ask for someone better to, you know, understand me and understand what I'm going through than somebody who's doing it also, you know. So.